Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Criminals Hate Me. It is the true crime podcast that criminals don't want you to watch. And as promised, I'm about to show you guys some more very strange things that I found in the Scott and Tracy Hawkins missing case. And ironically, I had some people in my comments earlier that were already trying to debunk what I found. So, how do they even know that I found this? It's impossible. They don't know that I found it. But they know this information already that I'm about to share with you. That's what's going on. And they're already trying to debunk it and get out in front of it. But ladies and gentlemen, data and information doesn't lie. And guys, I do realize that sometimes there is information out there on the internet that is wrong. Sometimes the data that's collected, it's wrong, and it ends up in places and you're kind of scratching your head as to how in the world it ended up there. But when you see it multiple times on several different spots, different pages, then you know there's more to it. It can't just be an error. There has to be something there. Okay? So as I said earlier, and I questioned, is there something else that Donna and Shane aren't telling us? Because that's what I need for them to do. After I make this video, and if they watch it, then maybe they can answer these questions. Okay? And they can answer why this information is out there that I'm about to show you. Because it's not making sense at all. But anyways, all I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to show y'all what I found. Okay? And it's a lot. So be ready. Okay? But you guys are going to be able to look all this up on your own after this video. Okay? I'm going to show you how I found it and where I found it. So you guys can do the same thing that I just did. But I'm just going to show you everything I found, and we're just going to leave it at that. And we're going to go with this information being factual. Okay? I'm going to show you everything, and then at the end, I'm going to give my thoughts on what I think is going on here. Okay? But we need Donna to chime in and for Shane to also chime in. But we may finally be getting somewhere as to why the boys were hunting up here and why their vehicle was parked here. Okay, so here's the map of the area. I already showed you. Here's the box truck here where their vehicle was found, and I believe it was dumped. That's exactly what I believe. Okay. But the story is that they think that they were hunting up here and someone named Macintosh is who they think is involved in their disappearance. Okay? And that's exactly what we're going to look at. And Shane was saying these are different Macintoshes, but I don't think so. Because, like I said, something's very strange is going on here with this last name, Macintosh. And this, what I'm about to show you, this may explain why Scott and Tracy chose this area to hunt. It may not just be a random area. They may not really even be trespassing. Okay, so let's dive in. So this is very odd what I'm about to show you guys. Okay, if you zoom out here and you see this whole big area, remember I was saying that it would be crazy to park here and then hike all the way up to here in this area? because even their mom was saying that they weren't in great health and they had breathing problems, I believe. But I mean, I guess they did. But let's just measure it real quick, okay? Measure from there up to this area. 4,200 feet. 1.3 kilometers. It's a long ways. But maybe they did. So let's dive in here, okay? So if you go up, here's the Leach family funeral home, and the vehicle was found across the street here, okay? So this is the area of interest up here. So this is very strange. Watch this. Go to the map here and you zoom in, okay? And as you zoom in, look at this. These addresses pop up here. 418 Easterly Circle and 422 Easterly Circle. It's very odd that they're out there like that. Like, why are they not on a main road? Like, why are they way up here in the forest? Anyway, let's not concentrate on that. Let's concentrate on what I found. Okay, so we're going to start with 418 Easterly Circle. Okay, and I did the research. Okay, you guys can use this website if you want. It's free. It's called True People Search. Okay, it says that Robert McIntosh, and sometimes the dates are wrong, but I looked this up. I believe that it said it was last sold in 2024, so it is pretty recent. He may not own it anymore, but he lived there not too long ago. 418 Easterly Circle, right here, and park here and walk up here, hunt in this area. So we may be on to something here, guys. Okay, because the mom kept mentioning Macintosh. Why is she so hell-bent and focused on the Macintoshes? Okay, and that was bizarre to me. Why? You got all these locations up here, guys. Look at all these houses, tons and tons of houses. So why are you singling out Macintosh? How'd you even come up with the Macintosh name? Okay, well, we may be finding out here, okay? 418 Easterly Circle. And then you go down here to possible relatives and possible associates. Okay? And I'm going to show you guys some very strange stuff here. Okay? Let's see. Just bear with me because I'm going to have to find it. Because it's a lot, guys. But look here. It says that Robert McIntosh is a possible associate of Tracy Hawkins. And that Robert McIntosh is also a possible associate of Donna Hawkins. Okay. Very strange, right? So then, if you look here, Christy McIntosh, here's her page. Says right here, 418 Easterly. So she lived there also, Christy McIntosh. So that's possibly his wife. Okay. Let's see what connections are here, if any. Oh, Tracy Hawkins. And let's see if Donna is anywhere. I can't remember. No, just Tracy. So I don't know what the connection is, but it's saying Robert and Christy, who are married, have connections both to Tracy, but that Robert has connections to Donna also. Okay? Then you pull up Donna. Okay? Robert McIntosh right here. Tracy Hawkins right here. Okay. So this is already getting weird. And Shane was trying to tell me that these are different Macintoshes, that Donna is not related to these Macintoshes that own this property up here, but this website is saying different, guys. And then you look up Tracy, and let's see, Robert McIntosh. So are you guys seeing how, if this is an error, that it's a one hell of an error because it's on all 4 pages? So I don't think it's an error. I think they're related to this Robert McIntosh guy, or they know him because it says possible associates. So how are they connected to Robert McIntosh? Very, very, very strange. Okay, and so what I did also, because you can see there's a bunch of people here on all these pages, all these 4 pages I just showed you, lots of different people. So what I did is I went through and I did a spreadsheet. Okay. And that's why it took me a while to get this video ready. But I wanted to see who Robert and Donna and Tracy, what all their connections were. Because I already showed you the main 3. They're all connected to each other. So who else are they connected to? All 3 are connected to someone named Justin McIntosh. Now, Donna was talking about her grandson passing away. Is this him? Justin McIntosh? I don't know. That's just speculation. But it makes you wonder. Because I did look at Donna's Facebook, and she has a Justin McIntosh as a friend on her Facebook. Okay. LaDonna McIntosh is connected to all 3. Tina McIntosh, all 3. So, guys, this is not an error. It can't be. Okay? 3 different people, 3 connections, okay? You have Richard McIntosh that's connected to Robert and Tracy. I did not see Robert on Donna's page. Then you have Verna McIntosh that is connected to Robert and Tracy. I did not see Verna on Donna's page. Then you have these two names that are connected to all 3. Daniel Hawkins and Danielle Hawkins. It says all 3 of these know who these 2 people are. Then you have someone named Earl Elkins that is connected to Robert and Tracy. And then Vanessa Sieber, Robert and Tracy. So per these pages, there are connections between these 3. Okay. And I didn't even look up all the connections between Christy, because it's going to be about the same since she's married to Robert, okay? But isn't this mind-blowing, guys? That Donna said that she can feel it in her gut that her boys are up here on this mountain somewhere, okay? And now we have these, the story about the Macintosh selling and moving to the Philippines. Okay, and we don't know, was it this Robert guy? It could have been. But Donna has connections to the Macintoshes, okay? And let me show you something else that's weird. Here's Donna's page right here. Look, also known as Donna Jean McIntosh. So, what's the connection, Donna? What are you not telling us here? Because this is very, very, very important if this is the reason that Scott and Tracy parked over here and was hunting here. Okay? If Scott and Tracy felt like they were buddies with the Macintoshes, then they probably felt totally safe up here hunting ginseng. Okay? Now, I don't know why they would park here, though, and not just go up here. If they know these people, wouldn't you just get permission from the Macintoshes, if you know them, to hunt their land? So this is why, guys, I think that the vehicle was dumped over here. Because they should have been able to just park up here by the Macintoshes if they knew them and hunt instead of way over here. Okay, and this is going to come into play later when I wrap this video up. Okay, so these connections it's part one of this video and what I found. Okay, so now we're going to jump into the next section that I found. Okay, so now you have, let's zoom back in here. Now you have 418, and now you have 422 easterly. So let's see if these two properties have connections. Okay, and yes, they do. It lists these three people as either living there or have lived there: Allison McIntosh, Hunter McIntosh, and Christy McIntosh. Whoa, that's a familiar name, ain't it? Excuse me. Christy McIntosh. She's married to Robert. Okay? And she has connections, supposedly, to 422 easterly. Okay? So we already looked at her profile. So let's look up Allison. And you can see 422 easterly. So it's saying that both of these properties are Macintosh properties. Both of them. Okay, so here's Allison McIntosh. Okay, let's see if she has any connections here. Let's see. Where was it? Robert McIntosh and Christy McIntosh. So yes, and I don't. Oh, and here's Verna. Remember that was over here, Verna. Wow, Verna. Richard. He's here, guys. There's a lot of connections here. I don't know what the hell's going on, but Donna and Tracy know people that the Macintoshes know. Okay. So Allison is connected to Robert and Christy. Okay. Now let's look at this other one. Hunter. 422 easterly. Let's see. Christy McIntosh and Robert McIntosh. So they're all connected, guys. All connected. Like something's going on here. Let me see. I think there was one more. Let's see. Christy. Oh yeah, Tracy. Right there. So something is up. Okay. I don't know what the hell's going on. And I don't know why Shane is trying to tell me that these are different Macintoshes. And I don't know why Donna thinks her sons are up here. And I don't know why, if they have connections to Tracy and Scott, why'd they park way the fuck over here? I mean, this screams foul play and dumping the vehicle, guys. I'm sorry, but it does. Okay? So now I have proven that the Macintoshes have connections to the Hawkins. Okay? Tracy, Scott, and Donna. Okay? So now I want y'all to check this out. Okay? Remember, I showed y'all, I did a whole video basically out in front of this road here looking at this house, of the neighbor's house, right? And I told y'all that there's got to be some kind of connection. Maybe they're buddies. I don't know, something. There has to be something. Okay, the weird thing is I looked up this address here and I looked up this address. No records. Okay. But this one has records. 2832 Highway 116. Okay. And I hate to have to dox somebody, which I'm not. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm just showing who lives here. Plus, someone in the comments already said this guy's name. So this isn't the first time this guy's name will be mentioned. Okay. I already had this information. And then some random person popped up in my comments and was mentioning this guy that owns his house. So I think that we're putting some freaking heat on someone, guys. We're smoking them out of the kitchen here. Like, they do not like these videos that I'm doing. They don't like the ones John Ward's doing. They probably don't like what Olivia's doing. Okay, but we're not going to stop. We want this damn case solved. We want some closure for Donna. Okay, but if Donna failed to reveal this information about the Macintoshes, then, you know, that's really not cool, because we're all going on a wild goose chase, wondering what in the hell is going on and what's up with this Macintosh and the Philippines. You know, well, hell, they have very good reason to get the hell out of America if there's known connections to Tracy and Scott. And I don't know what those connections are just yet, but it's very weird that this page says Donna McIntosh. So maybe Donna can explain that. And if this website got all of these connections wrong, which I don't see how in the hell it could, then maybe Donna can explain it. Okay. But let's get back to this. This will be my third and final finding. Okay, 2832 Highway 116. You know, I really want to know who owns this place, and if Scott and Tracy had any connections to these people. Because, like I said, it's very strange and what's the word? Suspicious that their vehicle, I don't think that's the word I was looking for, but let's move on. It's very suspicious that their vehicle was found here, and then this people had a truck that was here, and then they moved the truck. So let's see who owns it. Okay, oh, this guy named Barry Nelson, 2832 Highway 116. 2832 Highway 116. Okay, so this is the right guy, Barry Nelson. Okay, says it's his current address. And then look at this, guys. I don't know if he's moved around a lot or if he just owns a lot of places, but looky here, Shady Cove. Okay, and then if you go down a little bit, let's see, Shady Cove. So I don't know if this is the same address as this one, or if there's multiple addresses that he either owns or that he used to live at. But this guy that owns this house right next door to the building and the box truck where Tracy and Scott's vehicle was abandoned has connections to Shady Cove. And we all know what is at Shady Cove, right? The drug cabin. The drug cabin that burned down. Okay? And then someone tried to burn Tracy and Scott's vehicle right here, next door to Barry's house. So now we have another connection. Very, very strange, guys. It doesn't mean that Barry's guilty, but what it means is that, you know, it could be one hell of a coincidence. You know, drug cabin was on Shady Cove. Barry has connections to Shady Cove, and then Tracy and Scott's vehicle ends up right next to Barry's house. This could be just one hell of a coincidence, couldn't it, guys? But I don't think so. I do not think so. Okay. So this is just kind of where we're at. Let me look through this real quick, guys, because I really didn't look. Nelson looks like he's just related to a bunch of Nelsons. But let's just see real quick if there's any other names that we recognize. And I don't think so. But you guys can help me. Okay? You guys can help me once this video's done. Go through these names. Maybe y'all recognize somebody. Maybe y'all can make another connection. Okay? Look through all these addresses. Maybe y'all can make some connections with the addresses. Because didn't Scott and Tracy live in Lake City? So this dude Barry's got a lot of connections to Lake City. So maybe y'all find something there. Okay. But to wrap all of this up, the vehicle was found here. And nobody can figure out how it got there or why it was there, except that someone is just assuming that they parked here and walked way the hell up here. And then the Macintoshes got mad and ran them off. Okay? That doesn't make sense. Okay? Here's the other thing that doesn't make sense. We have trail cam pictures of Scott and Tracy. And supposedly we don't know where they came from. Well, you know the Macintoshes, supposedly, for all this information. So, didn't they come from the Macintoshes? Okay, you're accusing the Macintoshes of pouring concrete and then doing something with a pond or something, and then moving to the Philippines. So, isn't it the Macintoshes that had the trail cams? And then Shane and Justin came here, and didn't Shane said that they went through the driveway into the trail? So where's he talking about? If he didn't go here, the same area where Scott and Tracy parked and walked through, where did Shane go? Was it up here? So we're missing some information, guys. I hate to say it, but we are. The whole story's not out there, okay? So maybe John Ward is going to be doing a part 2 documentary. Maybe that info's coming. Maybe I'm jumping the gun. Maybe I'm too damn good of an investigator, and I'm way ahead of the game here, okay? Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe they were planning on releasing some info, and I've jumped the gun, asking questions. Okay, or maybe I'm forcing people to answer questions now. Okay, and I'm starting to think, okay, because it doesn't seem like Scott and Tracy's case has gotten much exposure, and that the cops haven't really been digging too hard. Okay, we've seen it in other cases. Okay, we've seen it in Noah's case. And Donna Bond said it, and I was starting, me and Donna Bond don't like each other, but I believe her. When she said law enforcement did not want the family on the podcast and on YouTube. Okay, and it's almost like once they went on there and law enforcement said, "Hey, we told you not to go on there. We're doing an investigation. Do not go on podcasts. Do not do YouTube videos. Do not do TikToks. You're ruining the integrity of the investigation." And then she continued to do it. I think law enforcement just kind of wiped their hands. Okay. You guys can take over the investigation. Okay. And I wonder if that's what's going on in the Scott and Tracy case. Okay. Is law enforcement basically saying something's not adding up here, someone's not telling us something, and we can't really fully investigate because we don't have all the information? Is that what's going on? Okay, because that's a possibility. And guys, that's a speculation for me, and I'll speculate all day long if I want to, and nobody can do a damn thing about it. We live in a free country, okay, and that's what we're allowed to do because the Constitution and the amendments and the Bill of Rights and all of the veterans that died allow me to say whatever the hell I want to say. And I can look into whatever the hell I want to look into. Okay? So this is all speculation. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get it through someone's head that you cannot solve a case without all of the information. And this is very freaking important. Okay? If you want us to believe the disappearance during a ginseng hunt, okay, then you have to explain why Scott and Tracy chose this spot. And if it's because they had ties to the Macintoshes and they thought the Macintoshes were their buddies, their friends, cousins, I don't know what the relationship is. There's some kind of connection. Something through marriage, or maybe your sister married someone, or a cousin, or something. There's some kind of connection to Robert McIntosh and Christy McIntosh. What is the connection, guys? Why did Tracy and Scott park here and walk way the hell up here in bad health? Or did they really not? Is that just a lie? Okay. Did something else happen to Scott and Tracy, and someone knew that their buddies or their family members or whatever, the Macintoshes, lived here, and they dumped the vehicle here to stage and set someone up and to frame and to make it look like it was during the disappearance of it was during the ginseng hunting. Is that what we're guys? I really think that's what's going on. Someone set this up and planted the vehicle here to make it look like this is what's involved. Because if Scott and Tracy really has ties to the Macintoshes, guys, why would they kill them? Can you explain that to me? Why? Just tell them to get the hell off the property if you know them. And then why would Justin and Shane go right back to here? Because they know that they have ties to the Macintoshes. So I'm leaning back to this, that Mr. Barry Nelson may know something, since he has ties to the Shady Cove area where that drug cabin burned down. Okay? If not, then did someone try to set Barry up? Okay? But why would you park the vehicle on the other side? Okay, if Barry lives here, why park it over here? Wouldn't you dump it, Well, they got cameras, so that's probably why. So maybe that is it, guys. Maybe someone was trying to set Barry up. So I don't know what the answer is, but I just know that from looking at all the stuff that we just looked at, Donna and Tracy have ties to Robert McIntosh, who owns or did own both those properties right by where Tracy and Scott were ginseng hunting. And then Barry owns the house right by the building where Tracy and Scott's vehicle was found, dumped, whatever. So this is a big mystery, guys. Let's put it all together and let's solve this case, because I think it is now very solvable now that we have this information, okay? So let's fill that comment section up. Let me know what y'all think. Tell me if I'm right, wrong, whatever. It doesn't matter. I just love discussion about cases, okay? So Donna, Tracy, if y'all want to chime in, let's go. I'm not trying to offend anyone, okay? Maybe you guys just need a helping hand on what to do with all the information, okay? Because it's crucial if you guys have ties to the Macintoshes. Because like I said, why did y'all single out the Macintoshes? Why is the story about the Philippines so important? Why is the story about the concrete and the pond so important? Do y'all know something else that we don't know? So let's get this case solved, guys. Later.